Hello! Thank you for clicking onto today's video and welcome to my channel for those who are new here. Today we're going to be going through all of the COSRX Pure Fit Cica line that was kindly gifted to me from StyleKorean. I've been testing these products out for roughly about 2 weeks now, so I'll be sharing my honest thoughts on what I thought about them. COSRX is already a fairly well-known Korean skincare brand, and their Pure Fit Cica line is probably one of their newer lines because I've never heard of it before. But it is pretty great at a first glance because they have pretty much all the products that you need for the typical 7-step Korean skincare that everybody's always talking about. The Cica they're referring to in the product name is actually named after a well-known Korean skincare ingredient called Cica, which I also mentioned before in my review of the plant-based. This one is slightly different in that they have 7 different scintilla ingredients that they call the Cica 7, and its main function is to calm down and repair damaged or sensitive skin. So with all that said, let's jump into my thoughts on the product line. And if you like this video at any point, please give me a like and consider subscribing for weekly videos. I just realized I didn't have this product the whole time because it was in my washroom. But we're gonna start with this one, which is the first step of usually your skincare routine, and that is the cleanser. So they claim this is a cleanser with a low pH formula for a more gentle cleanse, and they have this like step chart where they list out all the steps that you usually have for your skincare routine, and they usually recommend this as the second cleanse for those who double cleanse, probably because it's more gentle. I actually quite like this cleanser because it's a foam cleanser, which is really good for removing all the accumulation of oils that usually I have on my face from wearing like a stuffy face mask these days. But at the same time, it's not very drying, which is good because I have a combination dry skin, so I don't want anything that's too stripping. Even as someone who doesn't like to double cleanse, I do think it is sufficient enough as a one-step cleanser. As long as I don't wear makeup. I do think if you wear makeup, then you do have to go over your skin with another makeup remover or another cleanser. But on days when I don't do any makeup, then I would just use this one. I do think it's probably not as suitable for people with really oily skin because it's not really a thick lather, so it might leave you wanting for more. But for people like me who want a gentle lather and daily use, I think this is a great cleanser. So after cleanser, they have toner, and they actually have 2 toner products depending on how you like to use your toner. So they have the typical toner in a bottle in liquid form like this, and they also have toner pads. So they have toner pads where they have the pads already soaked into the formula, so you can just take it out and use it right away. At first I thought the toner pads were a little bit extra for them to like put them in pads when you can just do it yourself, but I do think after using them that I do like the toner pads a little bit more than the toner in the liquid form. The look and texture of the toner is so much like water and so lightweight that I do think if you just put it onto your hand and pat it onto your skin, it doesn't fully absorb and you don't get the full effects of the toner. It wasn't until I used the toner pads as a face mask that I actually thought, oh, this is a good product for calming and soothing your skin. So I do recommend for anybody who is planning to get this product to either get the toner pads or only get the liquid form if you have really good cotton pads to use at home. And if you want a recommendation, I really like the tier cotton pads that I've used and shown before. I do think that the cotton pads that I use in these pads are pretty good and that they're very thin, so it really absorbs into your skin really well. I usually let it sit for like 10 to 15 minutes like a face mask, but because they are so thin, they are a little bit hard to remove and separate piece by piece. Another thing to know about these toner pads are that they are circular, so it is a little bit awkward to put on like your forehead or your chin or anywhere other than your cheeks, but because they are circular, I do think they would also make a good eye mask. But overall, I do like the product and I would suggest you use it as a face mask. The next step we have is a serum, which by itself I think is just average, most especially because everything else in the line has been very lightweight, but I think because this is a serum, this does tend to be a little bit stickier before it dries, even though it advertises as like a very lightweight serum. What I do like though is using it with their powder, which is a product that I've actually never seen before, and I was a little bit confused at first with what to do with this. When I first received this, I actually thought it was like a powder cleanser, like enzyme cleansers, which I actually quite like. But this is actually a product that you put into other skincare, notably like toner, serums, or creams. They say you can use this as a spot treatment as well, so you can dab a little bit and put it onto like pimples, acne, or trouble spots. But actually what I like using it most for, because it is so drying, is to use it with the serum, and I think it creates like a really smooth texture, and I feel like it has helped with my enlarged pores as well. I think the dryness of the powder really helps mattify the serum as well, and it helps absorb nicely into my skin. And so although I don't really enjoy the products by themselves separately, I do think they work well together as a pair. They also did send me one of their face masks to try out as well, and as a whole I think the mask is just average for me. The pros of it is that it's very non-sticky, which I think is really rare to find actually, because face masks do tend to be like very moisturizing and very sticky. The sheet that they use as well is actually quite nice, because it's kind of like almost like woven, so I do think that it transfers and absorbs really well into your skin. The cons of it is that I don't think it's really that moisturizing, so if you're looking for a moisturizing face mask, which I usually like because I feel like if I'm doing a face mask it should really moisturize my skin, this is not it. But they aren't actually just like promoting this as a moisturizing face mask either. They are just promoting it as like a calming true sheet mask, which I guess it does what it says. So for those who are just looking for a lightweight mask, or if you do have oily skin, it probably is good for you, because you probably don't want a typical face mask that like sticks to your skin and makes you feel even more greasy and oily. So if your skin tends to be on the oilier side, then this might be the sheet mask for you. So the final product of the line is probably my favorite of the whole line, and it is their cicacream. My first impression of this product was I was surprised with the texture of it, because it came out almost like a gel, and so I was a little bit worried that it wasn't going to be moisturized enough, but it does surprisingly moisturize just like any thick cream would. I like it mainly because it's very lightweight and it dries and absorbs almost instantly, and it has like a very smooth and soft finish. Almost feels like a primer, so I do think it would be really good for before makeup use as well. I also actually gave it to my boyfriend to try as well, because he's usually really picky for creams. He doesn't even like putting creams on because he has like very oily skin, but even he enjoyed using it because he says it's very lightweight and not sticky at all. So I think this is great for people with combination skin or oily skin like my boyfriend. I think people with really dry skin might want to layer this with something else like the serum. And that is all for today's video. I hope you found this video helpful, and thank you again to StyleKorean for gifting these to me to try out. If you like this video, please give me a like and let me know what other products you guys would like to hear about or have me review. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing for weekly videos, and I'll be here every week, every Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. One of those days I will have an upload. Thank you so much for watching up to here, and see you guys next time. Bye!